Laura Schwam here with my Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck, and I have a few other decks on the table, and we are going to do a general reading for whoever lands on this and whoever resonates with it. Now, this is a general reading, so take the message as it resonates best for you, but know that energies are fluid, so roles may be reversed. There is no gender in tarot or oracle cards. It just, we read the energy. So I always like to use my Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck first because I like to look at the karmic themes of the situation. I also like to look at the soul wounds and the shadow aspect of each individual that is in the story, because that allows us a lot of times to look at the behaviorisms. And when we can see what a person is going to do, it allows us to be able to navigate our situation a lot better so we could get a better outcome of our situation. Now, again, anyone that's new to my channel know that you can find anything about me, the channel, any raffles or giveaways, you're going to find that in the description box down below. Okay, now, without further ado, let's just pick 3 cards from the Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck to see what, again, the overall energy of the situation is. I'm just going to pull and we see honor. Determination. So far, these are good. So a lot of times it's either our karmic or our soul gifts or spiritual gifts, diplomacy. Okay. So I kind of feel like the overall energy is just about the individual that's tapping into this video right now, not really about a connection. And the reason why is because I pulled honor, and honor is about honoring oneself, taking the high road. And a lot of times this is hard because maybe we want to be connected to someone that doesn't honor us, but we love them. Or maybe we want to take that job that somehow makes us not honor ourselves. So again, when we take the high road, it means that we're being true to ourselves. We're honoring ourselves. And then when we're doing that, eventually we do get people and situations and experiences that come to us that do honor us. But no, a lot of times if you were someone that was brought up to not, be assertive with your own dreams and your own passions, and maybe you were taught that you should always put people before you, then I feel like you're coming into a place of finally honoring yourself and putting yourself first. So I feel like it's a healing phase, and the only time we can transmute this energy of codependency and looking for the love and acceptance outside of ourselves, we know that that doesn't work. So when we honor ourselves, it means that we're true to ourselves, but sometimes that's difficult. But I feel like your determination to your soul's path, your determination to your passion that has absolutely nothing to do with a person. It's, again, your job. And I feel like there are some people that are really getting more out in the public eye, like maybe some Instagram models or some Instagram advertising people that are making some headway. And then I feel some people that are actually writing and in the more of the creative field and things that, it takes a lot of determination when you're creating something out of nothing, when you're creating yourself. That takes consistency and that takes focus, which takes determination. And you're learning how to work with people. I feel like at one point, maybe again, you came from a place of fear, a place of lack, again, because this shows honor, which is about healing. I feel like you've come to a place of realizing, hey, I honor myself. Maybe again, a relationship fell apart that made you see that you needed to honor yourself. But the diplomacy is the learning how to communicate with other people through your passion, through this new creative venture. And I feel like, again, this is general reading, but I feel like for a lot of you, you're in the creative field and you had to create yourself. So some might even have tarot YouTube pages, while other people might be Instagram models, other people are authors. So just a lot of creative energy. Now let's look at the storyline, because something, again, even though these are healing cards, and healing is again character. So our character has shadow aspects, which are the darker parts, the fear-based, and then there's the, the gifts. So when we integrate our soul wounds, again, the shadow aspects, they turn to spiritual gifts because they expand consciousness. Again, why? Because we see a different view of our situation. It gets us out of lack and limitation. So let's see exactly what happened to you to all of a sudden take this high road to all of a sudden realizing, you know what, I want to bank on myself. I want to, choose me. So we pull the 10 of Cups upright. Then we pull the 9 of Cups reverse. Well, so already you like there was like a soulmate again, or a love of life is, again, when we see the 10 of Cups, it says happiness. It's like the soulmate card. It's almost like the happily ever after card. Everybody wants the 10 of Cups. But then the 9 of Cups reversed right after it, which means I'm not satisfied. So we had so much expectation for this relationship. And this never fails, by the way. It never fails that when we're on our spiritual path and we're trying to create ourselves and we're loving what we're doing, that we get challenged. We get challenged by a soulmate twin flame that might not even be a soulmate twin flame. Maybe it's a karmic wound person. Maybe it's a trauma bond person, So this is what I kind of feel like. I feel like you thought that this person was a soulmate, was going to bring you your 10 of Cups, but they wound up being like a karmic mate, a trauma bond mate. So again, our trauma bonds are people that come into our life that make us master these spiritual blocks, these tough lessons of self-love a lot of times. So what happen a lot of times is, again, this relationship, we see it's trauma bond, these relationships are codependent. They happen super fast. The person comes in promising a lot, is all emotion. There's no grounding energy. It's all like fantasy. It's all passion. It's all sexual energy. And it's not realistic. And it's not realistic because of maybe where this person was. This person was pretending to be something that they're not. And this fell out too. And so this was a Queen of Cups. I'm not gonna lie, like how it turned upside down. But what I think, because I'm gonna call it like it fell upside down, even though I don't really know which way it fell down, but the vibe is kind of like it fell upside down. And I would say either way, whether it's upright or upside down, that this person thought that this relationship was going to transform. They thought that this person was going to change. They thought this person was going to come back, but they didn't. And the queens, as you can see, like she has a cup. And so if we're upside down, what happens to the stuff that's in the cup? Again, what's in the cup is the passion and the water is the emotion, right? The passion, the emotion, the feelings. So again, it came out. Then we become depleted. We become bored, we become depleted, we become bitter, we become angry. So I feel like that's what happened. That you, again, thought that this person, or again, take the message as it resonates, that, again, the person that you were connected to, or maybe you, again, wasn't 100% ready for this relationship. And again, but you got bitter. You got upset. You got sad. Again, you didn't want to stay in that energy for long because you wouldn't be able to get to this energy. Okay. So you know that this is a process. Healing is a process. Anyone that says, oh, you could just heal like this. No, it's the other person's karma, actually, that you are mad. Because how do you think people learn? They learn from being uncomfortable. So that's what happened. And so it being bitter, being angry is a natural process. So anyone that says you're not supposed to like feel your feelings, no. If you detach and you drink or you smoke or you go out and fuck somebody else, then guess what? Then you're you're detaching and you're ignoring and you're not honoring yourself by actually feeling your anger and your emotions. You're honoring yourself, and when you honor yourself, eventually you process the emotion because you're forcing yourself to feel it. It's like you're thinking about it, you're feeling it, which means that you have to take responsibility for how you contributed to your undesirable life experience. Because obviously, if this person is upside down, then both parties were not really realistic. Both parties were a little bit in the fantasy lane, the fantasy level of consciousness, which is what they believed it could be, which again is codependent. A lot of times it's, I think that you're going to fix all my problems. I feel like you're going to make me happy. Nothing like a twin flame or a karmic wound to teach us that they're not, and it's again because it's a spiritual law that God says you must love me first, and that's by loving yourself first, because I live inside of you. So when you're loving other people, including your twin flame or soulmate or this random person more than yourself, then you abandoned yourself, and then the person that you love abandons you. So when you're again doing what you love and you're interactive in life, then guess what? You can actually have a really good perception of who a person really is because you're so not so close up to the picture. So your intuition is going to tell you when someone's doing something shady. A lot of times people lose themselves in the relationships because they're so close up, they feel what the other person feels. And then they do what the other person wants, because we all form sensitivities and connections to people that we care about. Again, we have an open heart. You feel what that person feels. I mean, we do it with cats, we do it with dogs, we do it with animals, we do it with our children, we do it with our friends. So why wouldn't you think that you would do it with a person that you were attracted to or cared about? And the more that you feed that energy, the more it grows. So let's see what else. Look at this, the high priestess. So it's again, but it was reversed. So I'm kind of feeling like intuition didn't play like a huge role in this. That there was a lot of secrecy in this, but because the high priestess was reversed, I kind of feel like this person kind of felt like there was going to be it was a little trickery involved. They weren't sharing everything. They weren't telling this person everything about what was going on in their life. And that's why I feel like the relationship really came fast. The foundation of the relationship was not stable. And so when that happens, there obviously is secrecy, and it's not positive because it was reversed. So again, what we see is the foundation is not strong. Because if there was a lot of love bombing. If we're seeing this, is again this, okay, this is the illusion that we thought that this was going to be the perfect union, which means the person probably came in love bombing, and we probably came in putting our best foot forward, being very self, like I don't want to say self-absorbed, but like looking at ourselves a lot, making sure that we were okay, making sure that we were pleasing the other person, making sure, which meant that we weren't 100% comfortable in this relationship because it went fast. And so in, trying to be that perfect person for this person that we perceived to be our happily ever after, we couldn't tap into our own intuition. Again, we were tapping into what we felt. We were tapped into what we wanted, but not really what was here. but it doesn't mean that these two people didn't care about each other. But I feel like it was mainly attraction because they didn't spend that much time together or couldn't. Now I have these two cards just fell out, and I feel very appropriate that, like, again, about them falling out because this painful truth. And this again is rushing, but this is like a Knight of Swords. And you can see the rushing, and you can actually see the word rushing. Okay, so again, person came rushing in, which made that person not be able to tap into their intuition, and the painful truth came out, which made you again honor your path. So let's see what this person would have to say to you now. Let's see if that person, again, because it kind of looks like it. Well, let's see where the relationship is now, because I'm assuming painful truth is that it's ended, but one never knows with people in their relationships, especially soul relationships, because we know we've heard a lot of more crazier stories than this. So let's just see. The Hierophant, the healer. Irony, irony. And I think intuitively, mainly, even though this person, again, painful truth, the fact that this person is honoring themselves, that through their life and the way that they act and the way that they've kind of bounced back has taught this person. I think that this person actually thought that person was going to fall apart, and the person didn't. And I think that that's healing, because I don't think that this person wanted to hurt the other person. It's again, and that's what we don't realize. We tend to say, oh, this guy, we met him, they fell in love with us, we were with them for 5 months, 3 months, everything was perfect, then they ghosted, then they disappeared, then they did. And so a lot of times when a man is not or a woman, okay, because again, gender, there is no gender, so, and men and women do this, but when a person abandons, walks out, and they are abandoning themselves, it's that they're not communicating, they're not. And a lot of times women think, well, he meant to use me, and this is not the energy there. I think these two people got caught up in the passion, and it went fast, and there was no real ground of, the responsibilities and the everyday living of what that actually was going to look like for the two of them, and the fantasy of, of what they imagined it was was not lived, because there was no plan, there was no foundation, and it went super fast, and it was built on passion and sex. Kind of like, again, that's why it went so fast, obviously. I'm not saying that there wasn't anything else, but the majority, what fueled the relationship was that. And so this person stepping into themselves and showing that they're determined to make something of themselves, and that being able to be diplomatic and with their relationships, even after they got so hurt, is teaching, is very teaching, is very healing, is very healing for not just the individual, but the individual watching, because again, there were feelings. So let's see what else. Okay, Six of Pentacles, generosity, but I still don't feel as if these two will be together, because I do feel like they're on a different vibrational frequency. I feel like this person being this person being on a different vibrational frequency because he hasn't done the work, where this person actually did do the work. And how do we know? Because this card, the Six of Pentacles reversed, this person, I feel like, is a little annoyed that they're not giving to them. They want them to give to them. That's just the energy there to me. And, like, that's not going to happen, because again, whoever's tapped in, it was not going to just drop everything to run back to this person, being that you've created yourself. So let's see again, any messages, what they would like to tell you at this time. Can I make this fast? I love you. And I do believe that, again, relationships can look like this, and there's love. Because again, two different vibrations. So I don't undervalue that message, even if the person's acting like a shit. It's like, understand, it's like they're like, I love you, but in my world, everybody caters to me because that's how it's always been. And you're not doing it, so you're a problem. Or you're not going along with me and feeding my ego. And again, you've done so much for yourself to evolve, and that's very attractive. But it's again, but now you should do stuff for me is almost like the energy. But it's like you're like, now that we went through this whole thing, it fell apart and you didn't really even fix it, is what I'm seeing. And it's like, okay, I cannot give you what you want or deserve. I'm sorry, you can't make this shit up, because it's like, listen, it's like, it's true. It's like, this is a typical soulmate twin flame, like I shouldn't even say twin flame soulmate. It's because it's more of a karmic wound mate, or you could be with a soulmate twin flame that and not learn the lesson, and if this would be look like how it would play out, meaning if the relationship went so fast because there was all this passion and it wasn't built on anything, and then the person just farts out, I love you, but I can't step up to the plate because, I just, and understand soulmate and twin flame relationships are all about that. They're supposed to make us, step into the divine, masculine and feminine that we are supposed to be. And this person is like, nah, I can't do that. Too much work, which again is a turn off, especially for someone that has learned how to honor themselves, that has incorporated determination. It's determination. That means that we have to go up against like the hard stuff every day, the difficult stuff, the boring stuff, and that we're consistent. And that it's again, we have our bad days, our good days, there's learning days. And that we're consistent. Like I said, this person is saying, I can't be consistent. I love you, but I can't give you what you want. So it's like, I love you as at the level of consciousness that I'm willing and able to love. And by the way, that's going to be the level that I also love myself, which, as you can see, it's again, this person didn't learn anything from this situation. They pretty much stayed in a king, where is he? Yeah, a king of cups, upside down. He never went forward. He never, I mean, even if we wanted to say that this guy was, which like it's again, he's not giving, he's not changing, he's not doing anything different, which by the way would irritate if this person, if you decided to stay with this person, you're the negative king here would have a bigger problem with you staying and would try to control your life because they're not doing. And it would be a trigger for them that you were doing well, that you were, it's again, because twin flame soulmate unions are supposed to make each other better. And this person is again, I mean, we have free will. We can choose not to be with a twin flame soulmate. We can choose to be with a trauma bond person. Why, I don't know why anyone would, but we can choose to, try and make something work that won't work. But understand over time, it takes us down. It affects every area of our life. That negative energy will bleed into every area of our life. Like where you would be making money, all of a sudden you're losing money because it's again, it affects our energy vibration. And eventually we would get sick too. There's been many a relationship that we see that was toxic where the person winds up getting breast cancer, someone gets colon cancer. My father got cancer 9 times from being married to somebody that was mentally sick. It's again, I wrote a book about it, healing the effects of psychological trauma. My cards are all about that. It's all about integrating the wounds of, our karmic blocks, because over time, we become the vibration of the karmic block, and then we attract the same energies, which eventually are what takes us down, because we begin to know subconsciously, and then we have anxiety and form behaviorisms that are in alignment with those beliefs that created the karmic block. So it's again your environment, and the people in your environment uh, will shape your mind, will create your neurological pathways, because unconsciously we form thoughts and beliefs and behaviorisms due to our environment. Epigenetics proves that. So it's really important to know who we're going to have in our life. And because it's, again, choosing the wrong person can actually take your life. And that's a known fact. Be assertive. And I would say be assertive in your relationships next time. If this is going to be the advice, okay? Because I have to close out. I realize it's going long. So it's be assertive, because people say, how can I make sure that I do not wind up in another relationship like this? Because it really hurt me. And it's to be balanced. It's to create yourself. And when you're creating yourself, it means that you're interactive in a lot of things within your life. You're just not going to work and coming home. There's a lot of hours in the day. And when you're interacting in your day, you're meeting people, and the balance comes from your choice of focus. And so when people are so obsessive about their relationship, it's bad, because they're not seeing all the other things that about the other person. They're more living again from this imaginative realm, which is unrealistic. It's not real. So, and it's the quickest way to be disappointed in your relationship. So be assertive, ask questions. Don't just take people for their words. There are a lot of people out there that catfish. They just like to do it, and they don't form attachments because they keep it real surface. And so it's, again, how much time a person will actually give you, because when a person's giving you time, they're opening up their heart. So again, these people that want to be real surface, is, again, you have to be assertive to say, this is my life. Love yourself enough to be like, this is my life, and I'm going to ask the right questions and set the right boundaries, because in the end, even in the Bible, it says no one can take what's yours. People can try and throw you off, but they can't destroy you. So not if you keep on going. And so no one that can take what's yours, even if you say that was the greatest opportunity and they fucked me out of it. Well, guess what? God will redirect you, and understand. God will say, that really wasn't for you. That was a spiritual test. And it's how that you handled that test. So if you handled it like, you ruined me, I hate you, and you stay bitter, well, guess what? You're going to miss the opportunity. But if you're like, keep on going and show perseverance and are determined to keep going, especially after a painful situation, that's where the gifts come into play. Okay. And let go. This is all about letting go. So this is all about let it go. And we can, again, let it go by losing ourselves in our passions and our hobbies and in our interests. That is how we heal. That's how we get to see a different perspective of ourselves and the situation. Again, being able to step away from the situation long enough to see a different perception. So a lot of times we can't do that because we're so caught up in the emotion and how we perceived it made us feel, or how it made us look, instead of really saying, this is yours. If you hurt me, this is yours. And you didn't take me down. It's like, because in this story anyway, this person was not taken down. They say they took all that energy and said, okay, you're not going to do that, but I'm going to take all that emotional energy and of determination, again, the frustration that I feel within this relationship and the pain that I feel within this relationship, and I'm going to channel it into my purpose. And I'm going to show this person that I honor myself. And that is very healing in the end, because it teaches that person, again, I can persevere and get through anything, because that was really hard. And it teaches that other person, you didn't really know who the hell I was now, did you? I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, comment down below. I love it when you guys are interactive with me. All right. Mwah. Bye-bye. Talk to you guys soon.